Hi folks, and welcome to Schick Happens. Recently I was tagged by Don at Bucktails Outdoors to do a bucket list. So on this episode of Schick Happens, that's what I'm going to talk about. So even though I have done one of these tags before, it's certainly an interesting enough topic to want to talk about again. And I'm more than happy to fill Don's request. Don, do you want my bucket list or the Schickster's? Hey Schickster, come here. Come here a second. I got Don here. He's wanting to know what our bucket list is. What's your bucket list? You mean like a 5-gallon bucket? I think in one of my other videos covering some of the things on my bucket list, I may have mentioned that I wasn't keen on traveling abroad. In my 8 years in the United States Navy, I was all over the place. And while some of the ports were fun, some of the countries, it just really wasn't my cup of tea. Now that doesn't mean I don't want to travel. There are some states that I'd like to go visit out west. I would like to make it to Alaska one day. So down the road, I do want to travel to some states that I've never been to. There's just some things that I want to experience. I certainly want to go fishing in some of these states. In crystal clear water, streams, lakes. I'm really looking forward to doing something like that down the road. It's not anything specific on the bucket list, but I'll get to those main bucket list points here in a minute. What I do find interesting is as the older I get, things change on my bucket list. If you would have asked me this 20 years ago, there would have been a half dozen things on this list that I really would have enjoyed doing 20 years ago. Fast forward to now, and those things just aren't as important anymore. I guess your tastes change and your wants change the older you get. But yeah, and in another 5 years, the list might change again. One thing that's kind of on my bucket list, that's always been on my bucket list, is to own a really nice pickup truck. 4-wheel drive, 4-door with all the bells and whistles. And that may happen someday. It's just whenever I'm in the need for a new vehicle, I get the cheapest I can. Because I really don't care what anybody thinks about what I drive. I got a 2004 Chevy Silverado with 220,000 miles on it. And when I bought that, I bought it used. And then my most recent vehicle was this Ford Fiesta. And believe it or not, I've been driving since 1985. And that Ford Fiesta that I have out there is the first vehicle I've ever owned in my life with power windows. But down the road, I think still on that bucket list is to buy and own a very nice brand new 4x4 pickup. It's just not in the cards right now. Now I can spend hours talking about bucket list items. I really could. Wishes, wants, things I wanted to do my whole life. But the tag on this is the 3 main things on your bucket list. And I already know what those 3 are. The first one is getting this property paid off. The house, the land, the whole 9 yards. That's been on my bucket list for 16 years. And I can see light at the end of the tunnel. Thankfully, it's not a train. But here soon, in the next 2-3 years, I will be debt free. That is the first thing on my bucket list, is to get completely 100% out of debt. Barn tank still at 70%. That'll definitely get me through the rest of the winter. But anyway, the second thing on my bucket list is to retire early from work. And I think I'm shooting for 57, 58 years old, somewhere in there. As I just mentioned before, getting this house paid off, the property is first and foremost. But definitely the second thing on that bucket list is to retire at least 2 or 3 years before I hit 60 years of age. My brother passed away when he was 46, and my dad passed away when he was 76. So I don't know where I fit into all that, but I definitely want to retire before 60 so that the wife and I can go out and enjoy to do things. Boy, I'm messing that all up. Enjoy things we both want to do while we're still healthy enough to do it. So that's number 2 on the list. Now, as corny as this sounds, the third thing on my bucket list, which I have absolutely no control over, is I want my mother to be with us long enough to see me achieve my first bucket list item and my second bucket list item. And even though she just turned 86 years old, she's very healthy, she's spry, she still drives everywhere with her vehicle, she's sharp as a tack, and I'm sure she's going to be with us for quite a few more years. But the third thing on my bucket list is for my mom to see her youngest son achieve the first 2 things on my bucket list. And there you have it. There's my bucket list, my top 3. Kind of boring, huh? But I promised that I'd do this tag, and I had every intention on doing it. So Don at Bucktails Outdoors, thanks for this tag on my bucket list. And I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you do, please hit that like button, share with some friends, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. Cheers.